they cut our Medicaid, we would lose every hospital in our rural area, and then none of us would have health care. Not just the people on Medicaid, the people who have private insurance and Medicare. I'm a pharmacist. We took an oath to take care of people. We didn't say, no, only the rich ones.
In states that don't have right-to-work laws, the average pay is over $8,000 higher. The main thing that would help coal miners is to pass that PRO Act and repeal the right-to-work where they could have a union, and that would solve all their problems.
So you were telling me that people are unaware, they're unaware that the whole reason why hospitals are not allowed to turn you away in an emergency situation, regardless of your ability to pay, is because of the Emergency Medical Treatment and Labor Act, which states that hospitals who receive Medicare funding are not allowed to turn you away. And they are proposing to cut back on Medicare and Medicaid. Talk to a caseworker. There are no ineligible people who are receiving it. The only people who are receiving it are eligible because there is a vetting process. All these people that they say are illegally getting it, it's not happening. The point is to start the process to get rid of it entirely. And if we get rid of the only guaranteed payment for medical care in this country, and we leave it all to our pockets with no support, guess what's going to happen to you? You are going to lose out on care because hospitals are going to close who depend on that funding. We don't have enough money to pay the bills that they decided were fair, which I'm sorry, I just had a life-saving surgery and I owe $3,000. If I don't pay $55 fucking dollars that I don't have to my primary care physician, they can decide to no longer treat me, and they will. And I've got to start all over again somewhere else. You all think that you're safe because, it's been that way because we fought to get it that way, and they're reversing it. You all have been so fucking pampered that you don't understand what we had to fight for to get you. Oh, but PLP, everyone dies. Bitch, apparently not fucking politicians.
It's kind of crazy watching all these MAGA supporters right now because
somebody to tell me they're lying free now because what the you mean that I'm not gonna get my SNAP benefits? What the do you mean?
We are possibly going to lose our farm if NRCS doesn't hold up their contract with us on the EQIP program. Because of the executive orders, there's a pause or a freeze on the funding, and they're not able to pay out on the stuff that we completed or anything going forward.
Beyond betrayal, they used us during the campaign. The elected officials from the Republican Party, they actually told us that he was not going to touch the documented people.
I mean, you're an educator. You didn't vote for Trump eliminating federal funds.
No, I did not.
If someone asks me a question, are you happy that Trump cut the Medicaid? Are you happy about what is going on in America at the moment? I will simply say yes, 100%. I am very happy how he has cut the health care of Americans. Why am I happy? So that those who voted him in will also feel the heat. So that they will see the repercussion of what they have voted in, all because of racism, all because of skin color. If not for skin color, by now, Americans should be rejoicing in the arms of, if not for racism, Americans at the moment should be chilling in the arms of Kamala Harris. Because obviously you guys know that this woman, she could have done better than Donald Trump. But all because she's a black woman. Many rejected him. Even while they were spoken to, even while many people spoke to them, begged them to vote for Kamala Harris. They said no, that Trump is the best option. Remember, many have voted Donald Trump first time, second, and third time. Now they are crying out loud that Donald Trump have got the health care. I am happy about that. So that next election, they will shun racism and do the needful. So guys, keep on watching to see shocking reaction because a whole lot is going on. Many MAGA voters could not even afford their medical care at the moment. Many are crying, begging for medical care because they were hoping that Trump is going to provide all he promised them during campaign, but now Trump has never done half of what he promised them. So, guys, at the moment, keep on watching.
This was a big one for President Trump during the re-election campaign. Now, with the power of the pen, he explains via Truth Social, we are not going to pay for our innocent children to undergo these barbaric surgeries and practices, which result in unthinkable and irreversible harm to their young bodies. Thanks to our strong position and pressure on this issue over the past year and a half, dozens of U.S. hospitals have already ended this so-called gender-affirming care, and we expect many more to follow. Just think about all the young, innocent, and perhaps confused children who will be spared. Between 2016 and 2020, there were 3,678 gender-affirming surgeries performed on U.S. minors. We don't know what percentage of those were paid for by Medicaid, but moving forward, that number will be zero.
We're talking about children, the most vulnerable population of them all. And as physicians, we take an oath to do no harm, and we failed them. We also take pride on providing medicine based on evidence. And if you're going to provide irreversible surgeries, life-altering on minors, you better damn well have overwhelming evidence to support this, and this just wasn't the case.
So there are practical implications and also political, because if a 2028 Democrat for president wants to reverse this and go back to using taxpayer dollars for gender-affirming surgeries on minors, they're going to have to articulate why. They're going to have to go through a whole process.
Our youngest has transitioned. They are trans femme. She is trans femme. And I try to tell her as often as possible what I think every trans person should hear. You are brave. You are valued. You are unbelievably revered and respected. You wake up every day and you choose to be your authentic self. You do not let this world beat you down. And for that, you are amazing and you are wonderful. And I am very proud of you.
Some breaking news. Potentially millions of Americans are about to lose health care, and it's not a glitch, it's a plan, and it's already in motion. Trump is dismantling the very programs that keep working-class Americans, kids, and veterans alive. First, Medicaid. He's slashing federal funding, pushing work requirements, and letting states cut people off coverage. That puts 20 million Americans at risk. Then there's Obamacare. Without even needing Congress, Trump is rolling back key parts of the Affordable Care Act. He's weakening protections for pre-existing conditions, eliminating subsidies for low-income families, and encouraging garbage insurance plans that don't even cover ER visits. Oh my God. Immigrant families, they're being threatened. Drop out of healthcare programs or risk legal status. So many are skipping care out of fear. And veterans, especially in rural areas, Trump's cut to community VA clinics means mental health services are disappearing. PTSD goes untreated. Appointments vanish. Women are getting hit hard too. Red states following Trump's lead are slashing maternal care, shutting down clinics that provide parental support, even as maternal deaths rise. It's happening now. People are losing care. Lives are being put at risk. And Trump, he's calling it freedom. I'm tracking all of this in real time. If you want the full breakdown, head to my Instagram or Substack. Follow me there for daily updates.
Government is shut down. But I want you to think about 24 and 50. 4 million people are about to lose healthcare coverage altogether. 24 million people who use the ACA will see their cost go up. And nearly 50% of all small businesses and employees get their healthcare through the ACA, including a quarter of American farmers. You see, every time there's a crisis, Trump and the Republicans use it to grab more power and pit us against each other. This time, they've shut down the government because Democrats won't let them steal healthcare, fire civil servants, and make us give up on democracy. But what can we do? Be loud and remind everyone who did this. Share your story. They're lying. Tell the truth. Be present and help our neighbors when money gets tight. Mutual aid matters. Go to food banks, make donations, do whatever you can. And be persistent. Refuse to accept that we've already lost. Resistance works. Because here's another number, 10. There are 10 steps to freedom and power. Let's take them.
America's public health nightmare continues today as Chipotle is pulling jalapenos from some of its restaurants over concerns of a salmonella outbreak. I'm JB, and this is today's topic. Now, it hasn't just been this and the explosive diarrhea. We've seen salmonella, E. coli, listeria. The outbreaks keep popping up. Outbreaks like this are nothing new. However, the way this administration tracks them is new. That's the concern, and that's why we're here talking today. In March of 2025, the Trump administration cut 10,000 jobs from the Department of Health and Human Services, with roughly 3,500 of those jobs being at the Food and Drug Administration. That's 20% of the agency's workforce, and a lot of those people had direct responsibilities as it pertains to public health, food safety, and making sure we're tracking these things as they happen. Then there's measles. And RFK Jr. said this week, hey, vaccinate your kids against measles. Great. But you know what? He has created so much mistrust from the American people of their government and their vaccines that vaccination rates are extremely low. And measles cases, 2,371 across 45 states, and 93% of those infected were unvaccinated. That's the highest number of cases we've had in America since 1991. Now, the MAHA movement initially started, I think, with some good things, right? We want to reduce the amount of food dyes and unprocessed foods. And that's all great. And I'm glad that RFK Jr. wants to talk about those things. But what he's actually done is talked about things that are harmful to the American people, reduced our vaccination rates, made it so that we're not keeping tabs on what's actually happening to our food and our public health. And it is becoming a crisis. And this is something that continues to put each and every American at risk. We need to make sure that we treat our public health as a priority, and this administration has failed to do that. I'm JB, and this is today's topic. Follow for more.
So, Donald Trump got on stage last night and said, we can't afford daycare or Medicaid. We're funding wars. Sir, didn't you run on lowering costs for Americans, no new wars, and finding a better healthcare plan to replace the Affordable Care Act? Oh, and while you mentioned Israel 6 times last night, you left out the part where we pay them billions of dollars in aid every year, and they give their citizens free health care and child care. Meanwhile, you're telling the American people that even though it comes out of our paycheck every month, we can't afford Medicaid for Americans. Oh, and another thing. If we stop federal funding for Medicaid and transfer it to the states, like you were suggesting, the average American taxpayer, you and I, would be paying $3,000 to $5,000 more per year. So just to recap, we can fund wars, we can send billions overseas, yet we can't afford basic needs for Americans at home.
To me, this is actually very funny, but it is a shocking reality of life because assuming MAGA voters know firsthand that this is going to be their own shocking reality, I'm not sure they will continue to vote in Donald Trump, but now the sad reality is hitting them so hard. Even those who never voted are now feeling the heat of the harsh administration. For me, I am 100% in support of whatsoever Donald Trump is doing so that Americans should open their eyes. In case of next election, they should not vote because of racism. They should not vote because of skin color. Because all what they are suffering from at the moment is all because of racism and skin color. Oh, racism is too expensive. Yeah, very expensive and difficult to maintain. If you think I'm lying, go and ask MAGA voters. So guys, all this video you have watched is actually playing right now in America because MAGA voters never knew that a day like this will come, that they will be crying at the internet, that their Medicare has been taken away from them. It has been in existence before Donald Trump administration. But Donald Trump, in order to punish Americans and also his voters, he has to remove Medicare to all those people who are receiving it. And now the sad reality is not hitting on every American. So guys, based on all this, are you in support of Donald Trump for having removed the Medicare, or are you against